Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the best salary cap lineup and the salary cap lineup that I'm going to be running here in Season 3 of NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 18,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day. Tons of daily MyTEAM content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Obviously, the salary cap grand prize this season is Pink Diamond Drazen Petrovic, who I'm not exactly going to sit here and lie to y'all and say is the most exciting player in the world, although there is certainly always the potential, especially since he won't be available for another, 4 weeks, that he winds up getting updated and improved with some better animations. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Regardless, though, salary cap is always one of the best modes in the game to make MT this year, and I think that will certainly continue this season. So let's look at the rewards in salary cap real quickly. Right now, you get a Tis the Season Pass Deluxe Pack at 500 points, 5,000 MT at 750, 10K at 1,500, and then Diamond Latrell at 2,000, and Ascension at 2,500, 20,000 MT at 5,000 points. You get a lot of very, very solid rewards. They even made it easier this season to get the player that you need in each round, lowering it all the way down to 2,000 points. So to me, I think salary cap is in a great state right now. It's very rewarding to play. The games are pretty quick. You get a minimum of like 4,000 MT per game plus whatever other rewards you get. You get to open a vault after every game as well that has the potential to give you players and prize balls and packs and all this different type of stuff. So as a whole, I think it's a great game mode to play, and I know a lot of people have questions about the lineup. For me, the lineup I will be running right now is this team right here. Now, I need to evo my Herb Jones. I haven't done it. I've been lazy, but this is the team that I have right now. It's exactly 13,500 MT. I've got a 10-man lineup, so I do have an actual bench. Last 3 are the cheapest players I can have, which are 300 apiece, and this is a really good team. My starting lineup is awesome. I have 5 guys who are at least 6'6". Everybody on the court can shoot the 3 at a pretty okay level. At least Kareem's not incredible, but that's okay. We got size, we got versatility, we got defense, we got shot creation, we got everything. And I will say, player rewards, grindable reward cards, the ultimate rewards seem to be very, very useful this year. Same thing with like gauntlet reward players. Like I don't have Lamar Odom or Joe Johnson because I just never got around to completing those gauntlets simply because I didn't care enough, honestly. But I have Chris Bosh. He's 1,800. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, same thing. He's cheap, although he's a lock-in. So, but he's a guy I would definitely recommend using if you have him. SGA, very good card. If you have him, 100% worth using. I think Brandon Roy is 2,000, so he's another guy who'd be a great option as well. Paul George is obviously 3,000. Actually, I think I could even theoretically make this team better if, hold on, how much is Pascal Siakam? I think Pascal Siakam is cheap as well. No, he's 6,000. I thought Siakam was cheaper than that. All right, never mind. Well, I'm just going to put Paul George back in here then because I like Paul George a lot. I think he's better than Brandon Roy. As a whole, this is just a team that gives you spacing, size, defense, versatility, and the thing about this lineup specifically, I think, is that it is a legitimately deep 10-man lineup. Like, you could come out here and try to put in a couple of the best quote-unquote cards in the game. Like, for example, if you wanted to come out here and put Kobe, but that's 8,000. The rest of your team would be destroyed if you try to put in these top guys. Wemby, Adam Morrison, even guys like Devin Booker. That's 6,000. Like, that's so much. It just handicaps your team, I think, so much if you come out here with a lesser lineup like that. And in this case, you have a team, especially once my Herb Jones is finalized and evoed, where everybody on the court, except for really Donovan Mitchell, I would say, is at least a capable defender. Everybody on the court at any time can pretty much shoot the ball capably. We got a lot of size, a lot of versatility, a lot of switchability, and a legitimately deep 10-man lineup that is going to be able to compete with any of these other modes. Honestly, this I would say salary cap is one of the main incentives to complete other grinds and things like that and get less common rewards cards, because I think the way that salary cap does their pricing is it's based on how much cards are used, and I think basically how much cards are desired or whatever. And I think since there's less ultimate rewards and less of those grindable rewards, the harder to get cards in circulation, they are a little bit cheaper than the regular cards that price would be. Guys like SGA and Chris Bosh, as well as the other ultimate rewards, can be really, really useful for a mode like salary cap, in my opinion. I would also say dynamic duos are something to consider and look into if you're trying to figure some stuff out. Like if you have a little bit more salary left over, because you're not going to have the exact same cards that I do. There are some guys who I think are definite, like almost necessities. For example, Gerald Wallace, a 6'7" small forward shooting guard, versatile guy who can play either position, can slash at a high level, 95 driving dunk, can timing burst, versatile, really good defender, and has a super smooth release. Like for 700 salary, I think he's a beast. Kenyon Martin, 600 salary. If you you have this card evoed, he's a beast. He's got anchor, he can defend, he's athletic, he can put the ball on the floor, he actually moves okay, and his release is like good enough. He's a very, very solid card. Herb Jones, when he's evoed, he's an elite 3-and-D with a very good release and one of the better defensive wings in the entire game. Can hold it down awesomely as like your primary lock off the bench. Even another guy that I would say is not currently on my team because I don't have him evoed and I'm not going to evo him personally because I'm lazy. But I know a lot of y'all aren't lazy like I am. Mitchell Robinson. If you evo him, he is also 500, so he's actually cheaper than Cliff Robinson, and he is better than Cliff Robinson. I'm just too lazy to evo him, but he is for 500, a really, really great value salary cap center. This card, Evo DeRuby, is one of my very favorite budget centers in the game, and I think for 500 salary, he's another amazing option. For me personally, I'm too lazy to do that, so I'm just going to use Cliff Robinson, who I have, who, by the way, another mode reward, not surprising. You find that a lot of the mode rewards are some of the cheapest cards to use, so it's a good reason to get more of these mode reward players and stuff and these grindable rewards so that you can have them in your salary cap lineup. Like I said, outside of that, I mean, I think salary cap as a whole is a very interesting mode. Like if you want to have success in salary cap, it very much is a shorter game. Like you don't need to run your bench as much as your starters. You probably want to run your best 5 for the majority of the game. And I think size and having everybody on the court able to shoot and everybody on the court be capable is just so important because you will often match up with salary cap lineups that have 2 or 3 better amethyst diamond players, but they're more expensive players and I just don't think it's ever worth using the more expensive players, the super expensive 6,000. Really, if they're over 3,000, I just don't think they're ever worth using right now in salary cap, unless a player who's like legitimately one of the very best cards in the entire game right now drops down to like the 3,000-ish range. I don't think they're worth using, simply because it's so important to have a well-rounded team in salary cap. You could run a 5-man lineup, but even if you ran a 5-man lineup, I just think you're so limited. Like I can just show y'all, even a 5-man lineup, you're not actually really able to build that great of a team because let's say, who do I want at point guard? Like if I have 5-man lineup, that gives me a maximum salary of two. That's like 2,000 per player. That's 10 of my 13,000 right there if I do that. So it doesn't actually leave me with the option to like improve my team a lot because of how expensive the best cards in the game are, which is why it requires you to use these cheaper players. So for me, I don't want to save that lineup. Actually, I would like to delete that. But for me, this type of lineup works out perfectly, and I think this is the type of lineup y'all should try to get as well. And the good thing about it is a lot of these cards are very cheap, are very attainable still, and a lot of these cards are cards that people have had in their collection for a while as well. So with that being said, I am going to call the video there. Hopefully it does help y'all out with building your salary cap squad. If so, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.